I'm Tony Morris, and welcome to the latest episode of Southern Soul. Now, Southern is because, guess what? I'm from Alabama originally, and you'll probably pick up on that with my accent occasionally. And the soul part is because I'm a psychic medium. And together on this show, Southern Soul, we'll talk a little bit about my job as a psychic medium, but more importantly, we'll explore the world of spirituality and all its different topics. Now, today we're actually filming for the first time in an actual studio. And I'm really excited about it because I've always thought this show as a work in progress. Sort of like life, right? Think about it. You know, whether it's your job, whether it's a relationship, you name it, we're constantly evolving, just like this show is. Making a tweak here, a tweak there, refining it, getting the most out of it. Not only this show, but out of life. So one of the things that we always do on the show, if you're joining us for the first time, by the way, is we take questions from the viewers. And I'd love to hear from you. So if you have a question, feel free to email me at tony@tony-morris.com. tony@tony-morris.com. So let's take a few questions right now. Okay, let's take the first question. Do you have a specialty when it comes to your work as a psychic medium? Well, you know the old saying, jack of all trades, master of none? I have no interest in being a jack of all trades. So I really try to focus my energy on those two words, psychic medium. Psychic means I tap into energies that connect with what's possible in your life, what's coming forth in your life. You always have free will as to the actions or the choices you make. But so that's psychic energy. Medium energy is whenever I work with another spiritual entity to offer communication. It could be a loved one. You know, I've even had pets come through. So those are the two different types of energies that I work with, psychic energy and medium energy. Now, in the world of spirituality, there's other specialties. Like I have friends who are Reiki masters. That's the art of healing. I have a friend who's a numerology expert, all about the power of numbers. So there's different niches within the world of spirituality, but my focus is strictly on psychic medium. That's where I try to do my good to the world. So you ready for the next question? Does water have a special healing quality? Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Think how refreshed, how recharged you feel after you've taken a shower or after you've had a nice soak in a bathtub. Feels pretty good, right? But water not only has a cleansing effect, but it does certainly have healing qualities as well. That's why there's a number of places, not only around this country, but around the world, that have healing spiritual mineral pools where you can actually go and feel healing qualities. And they've been around forever. I mean, this is not something that some person just kind of conjured up. The other thing that I do like about water is it has the ability to calm our nerves, to help us focus inward. So if you have a lake, if you have a pond, if you have an ocean nearby, certainly go take advantage of it, because not only does it have the healing qualities, but it has the ability to kind of calm us down so that we can do some really deep inner reflection. Okay, ready for the third question? Are there places that you like to visit to give your spirituality a boost? Okay, we're talking about not the kind of spirits in a bar, right? Like, you know, martinis and stuff. We're talking about a different kind of spirituality. Because I tend to focus on nature. So if I want to go hiking, I certainly carve out some time to kind of sit on a stump or to sit on a large rock and just kind of meditate and connect not only with nature, but with my inner self. I also love the ocean. I love going to lakes because there's, again, what I mentioned earlier about water having a certain calmness about it is very true. Now, you don't have to have a mountain or an ocean to find that special place. You know, it can be a country dirt road. It can be a nature trail that's undisturbed. It can be a flower garden in your backyard. So whatever place that you find that offers you that kind of connectivity, not only to spirituality, but to that, it gives you the ability to tap into what's important with you, the soul within yourself. And that's a nice segue for today's specialty topic. We're going to go on a road trip. We're going to go on a road trip to a lot of different sacred places across the United States. And you'd be surprised at the number of sacred places that you can visit just by getting in your car. So pack your bags and get ready to take one mega road trip. Okay, so do you have your bags packed yet? Think of me as your personal GPS. We're going to go for a road trip. We're going to go to a lot of different places, but it's okay. I'm going to give you a chance to take a breath or a pit stop occasionally, but we're going to cover a lot of ground. And let's start off with one big rock. Devil's Tower, Wyoming. Now this is not just any ordinary rock. This rock happens to be the first national monument in the entire United States. That's a pretty big claim to fame. But that's not all. It's a spiritual mecca. Now I was there back in the late 1980s. And that was, of course, before I knew I was psychic. And I gotta tell you, even then, I knew I was looking at something that was not only majestic, but I could feel the energy. It's a spiritual mecca. That's why a number of people go there, not only to actually climb the rock, I'm not gonna do that, but to actually tap into its spiritual energy. And a very famous movie director named Steven Spielberg also was aware of that special energy of that place. And that's where he filmed the big moment in his classic movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Okay, are you ready to go to the next place? Okay, we're gonna go right next door to South Dakota. This is Badlands, South Dakota. And if it looks like it's something from the moon, you're probably right, because that's exactly what topography is like. I've been there. At the same time I went to Devil's Tower, which was in the late 1980s. But again, this place had a certain spiritual energy about it that I could not ignore. Whether it was climbing the different hills and the different valleys, I really felt connected, almost like I was tapping into like a Native American type energy. It just felt very resounding. And I wasn't alone either. A lot of times at night around the campfire, we would be with the other people who were hiking or enjoying the scenery, and we would all share our stories about just how special Badlands was. Let's go to the third place that I really like. Big Sur, California. How many have you ever been to Big Sur? I gotta tell you, the views there are absolutely jaw-dropping. But the views, that's just one thing. The place is also dotted with a number of different hiking trails. Hiking trails that are not only along the ocean, like in this image right now, but also in the mountains, in the forest, where the majestic redwoods are. I found myself just wanting to stay there for hours at a time. And again, not alone. There were a number of other different people doing the same hiking trails, soaking up the energy, feeling a part of what was truly special. It's no surprise that Big Sur is a favorite place for creative types, whether you're an artist, a lot of book writers, authors go there to get inspiration for their manuscripts. For me personally, it really stirred my soul, especially given the nature of my work. Another big place that you gotta put on your list of places to visit is Sedona, Arizona. Sedona not only is this beautiful place, just full of these incredible rock formations, nature trails, and just incredible natural surroundings. But Sedona is one of the very few places in the United States that has not one, not two, but several or more spiritual vortexes, energy fields that are so intense that you can actually feel the vibration. So be sure and mark Sedona, Arizona on your places to visit. Okay, how many of you have ever been to Hawaii? Now Hawaii has several islands, all of which are beautiful, but there's one in particular, Maui. Now the first time I went to Hawaii was back in the 90s, I believe, and the only memory that I really have of going to Maui is a t-shirt, and it's pretty tattered and worn out by now. But the t-shirt says, "Here today, going to Maui." But I'll be here all week, folks. But Maui has something a lot more impressive. It has the road to Hana. And the road to Hana, as you can see in this image, is pretty twisted. It's not just a straight shot, but road to Hana leads you to something that's quite magical. Its spiritual force is so intense that visitors to the island make it their number one priority of things they have got to see and got to experience. So if you ever find yourself on the wonderful island of Maui in Hawaii, be sure to check that out. Now, if you're in the South, one of my favorite places that happens to be a sacred place is Asheville, North Carolina. Nestled in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains, especially in the fall. Well, you know what? Scratch that. Any time of year is a great time to visit Asheville, North Carolina. The colors alone, regardless of whatever season you're there, they just tend to pop off the map, literally. Now again, Asheville is also a very prominent place to go hiking, to experience nature, and to have these amazing views. A lot of artists as well, and also people of healing capacities, whether you're a Reiki master or any other kind of healing, alternative type healing practice, acupuncturist, they tend to go to Asheville to get recharged and to get refreshed for their type of roles. Now, let's go to the other side of the country. Let's go to Oregon. Cave Junction, Oregon, to be exact. I actually went to Cave Junction last year on my own road trip. Cave Junction is the home of the famous Oregon caves. And I had to go visit these caves because I'd heard so much about them. But it wasn't just the caves that I experienced something very special at Cave Junction. Before I had the tour of the caverns, I actually took a hiking expedition in some of the forests nearby. Now, as you can see in this image here, there are spiritual orbs actually in this. Little white circles that are around me. These are definitely spirits from a certain time that protect and nurture this pristine, beautiful forest. And as I was hiking through these woods, I felt something special. Little did I know when I had the photograph developed that these spiritual orbs are, you know what, I have a friend who calls them forest fairies. They actually protect and watch over the natural surroundings of that environment. And I'm so glad that they're still taking care of things. So put Cave Junction on your map. Now, if you live where I live in Santa Barbara, Ventura, California area, which is a great place to live, you've got to go visit Ojai, California. Now, some of you people who are familiar with some of the old television shows, The Bionic Woman and The $6 Million Man, those two shows were actually based in Ojai. A little bit of trivia there, right? But Ojai has something much, much more to offer. Whether it's hiking through its wonderful woods or scaling its incredible mountains, again, spiritual energies are all around you rather. You can't ignore it. And I've had several friends who have told me such special stories of their own. Oh my gosh, you won't believe what happened to me when I went to Ojai. By the way, Ojai also has some very special mineral pools as well for healing qualities and to get your spiritual batteries recharged. So put Ojai, California on your map. So we covered a lot of ground. We went from Wyoming to South Dakota, threw in a place in California, went to North Carolina, Oregon. We covered a lot of ground, and I'm so glad you were there along the road with me. How many of you have already put some of these places on your I got to go there list? If you haven't, now would be a good time to do it. So happy trails whenever it comes time for you to check out your favorite sacred places. Okay, that was one incredible road trip. As a matter of fact, we covered a lot of ground, so I should probably think about getting my tires checked just to make sure they're still in good condition. Think about it, wheels. Your first set of wheels was probably your little red wagon. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time on Southern Soul, we always end the show with this segment, and I call it the Little Red Wagon segment. Think about it. The Little Red Wagon is really a metaphor for life. In previous shows of Southern Soul, we've talked about putting your dreams, your aspirations into the wagon, putting some action steps to activate those dreams and those aspirations into your wagon. We've talked about having the appropriate positive mindset to move it along. And we've also talked about giving back, meaning it's not just enough to receive energy, good positive energy, you want to share it. You want to share it with other people so they can tap into the same thing that's bringing you such good fortune and good feelings about your life. So today, we're going to zero in a little bit closer on those dreams and aspirations. Let's talk a little bit about careers. In my job as a psychic medium, that tends to be a very popular topic. You know, either people want to make a change in their career, or they're bored in their current job, or they feel like something's missing. That's not bizarre behavior. That's kind of normal. And it's also, to be honest with you, a little healthy, because it's showing that you have determination to get the most out of life, to experience more. There is absolutely nothing wrong with experiencing more out of life. Now, what I tell some of my clients whenever I'll bring up some kind of insight, like what I'm picking up is that you really want to be a yoga instructor. And they look at me like, how did you know that? Right now, I'm a bank teller. But yeah, I've always wanted to be a yoga instructor. I get so much out of it myself whenever I take yoga classes. That's just an example. But what I'm getting at is that you don't have to leave your current job in order to start putting some investments, we'll say, into what it is you're aspiring to do in your career. So take, for example, the yoga. If you're a bank teller, keep doing the job because, we got to pay our bills, right? But that shouldn't stop you from looking into what it takes to be a yoga instructor or any other kind of job you'd be interested in. So if there's some certain kind of training or some kind of accreditation, books you need to read, you can start doing that, and it doesn't take away from what you're already doing. I've made that similar transition myself whenever I went from corporate America to becoming a psychic medium. I spent about a year still in corporate America being a communications professional, but that didn't stop me from taking classes and reading books and getting to learn the world of psychic awareness a lot more. So when the time did come for me to make the shift from corporate America to what I'm doing now, psychic medium, it was a very nice, easy thing to glide into. And the same can be true for you. When you're ready to make that shift from whatever job or career you're doing to the next, as long as you start now by investing in it, looking into it, exploring it, you'll be ready to glide into that next chapter when it comes up. And look at this. Your little red wagon actually fits into the palm of your hand. Pretty cool, huh? And it's also the perfect size for a business card. And this can be not only the business card for the career that you currently have, but it can be the business card or the career or job that you're trying to manifest. It's all in your hands. Your little red wagon is all in your hands. You got that? Hey, thanks so much for joining us on our latest episode of Southern Soul. Like I said earlier, it's our first show being filmed in an actual studio, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you again, and most importantly, keep rolling along.
Yeah.